Fredonia, Village Hall, 911 Church Street in Fredonia, New York, on January 21st, 2025 at 6 p.m. for tonight's Board of Trustees workshop. Your Mayor Mike Ferguson will do roll call as well. Trustee Esperson.
Here.
Trustee Brockler.
Here.
Trustee Wandell.
Here.
Trustee Twitchell.
Here.
Trustee Syracuse is absent. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Start with resolution. Resolution 1, Opera House Annual 5K Run Walk, approval thereof.
Did you take a look at this, Chief? It's probably just their normal Opera House run.
I received nothing regarding that.
You didn't receive anything?
They're always
Late?
in line.
Oh, yeah, that's enough. Okay,
It's just,
so there's no question.
yeah, they've been doing this about 3 or so years. It's the same course, nothing's changed.
Good, good, good it is.
Resolution number 2, Opera House Summer Fundraiser Approval. Number 3, Festivals Fredonia 2025 Schedule Approval. Number 4, Call for Public Hearing for White Inn for Grant Administration. Number 5, Registrar of Vital Records. Number 6, promotion of Jason Jacobowitz to Motor Equipment Operator.
I have a question on that one, Mayor. Scott, could you just elaborate on that one a little bit? Because we're reading about motor equipment operator.
Yeah, he's just gonna get promoted to an equipment operator. He's been employed with us for 20 years. It's just a lateral move.
Okay. Does that allow him to do,
Yeah, he'll
Plowing.
in, drive trucks, plow, stuff
Good.
like that, yeah. Pretty short an operator. We have 2 right now. So.
thank you.
Number 7, approval to hire Jack Ippolito at the DPW to labor position. Number 8, training request from Alyssa LeBeau. Number 9, Town of Tonawanda plant tour approval. Number 10, request for proposals for legal counsel. Number 11, approval of Southern Tier West annual membership.
And there's the walk-on as well.
We do have a walk-on tonight.
Yes.
And we justify that as is financial, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Department reports, code enforcement. Chuck is not here this evening. DPW.
Well, we've been busy with snow. We had a pretty good handle on things. We had a couple pieces of equipment go down. I'm hoping to get them back up by the end of the week. Waiting on a part that's coming from another state, and we got a salt truck that's down. We need to take apart and see if we can patch back together here before the week. And
I'll let you know we had 3 social media and 1 phone call, all positive, thanking your crew for a great job.
that's great. I'll pass it along.
Just one lady who wants to know if you can shut off your flashing lights because it wakes her up when she sleeps.
That's gonna be tough.
Fire department,
I'm gonna step up here if I can.
certainly.
All right. I'm honored to present the 2024 Fredonia Fire Department Annual Report. I will also furnish the clerk with substantiating documents. I hope not only to detail our department over the year 2024, but I also want to share with the community, our visitors, and other department heads some factual information about our operations and the services that we provide. I'd like to recap and explain the response area that the Fredonia Fire Department protects with both fire and emergency medical services. This includes an array of services that could be broken down between hazardous response, technical rescue, search and rescue, and many more. Your fire department protects the town of Pomfret, excluding Lilydale. This encompasses the Village of Fredonia. This equates to 43.8 square miles and 12,900 total residents. Additionally, the SUNY Fredonia campus, protecting their 256 acres, 1.8 million square feet of buildings, and their 3,236 students. We are the fire department for the Village of Fredonia, the town of Pomfret, and SUNY Fredonia. We additionally cover 16 miles of the thruway. I share this not to brag about our big district, but to educate everyone listening and in this room of the massive responsibility that our fire department has. Comparing any features of the fire department with any other departments in this village simply cannot be done. It's like comparing apples and oranges. Why do we protect the town of Pomfret for fire and EMS? The town has contracted us to do so, where we have for 50 plus years. We are proud to provide this service for them and are happy to report that our new contract reflects a rate average of $550,000 annually for the duration of the contract. This is an increase from the last contract in the amount of $150,000 annually. This revenue accomplishes the offset of taxpayers for our overall cost of services for the fire department. During the year 2024, our fire department saw its busiest year in its nearly 125-year history. We responded to a record number of 2,191 calls for service. I'd like to share a very concerning fact from my seat as the chief of the department. 651 of those calls occurred at the same time, simultaneous calls. What does this mean in layman's terms? If we have an EMS call that is underway, and we receive a 911 call for another EMS call, or maybe a motor vehicle accident, or even a reported fire, that leaves one of our on-shift personnel left to respond. Does this mean we won't help? Absolutely not. We will do everything and anything to help our community members and our visitors. I am simply sharing the fact that our capabilities are extremely limited during these times. Your fire department is a combination fire department, meaning we have both career members and volunteer members. During the year 2024, we had 19 volunteer members respond to at least one call operationally. I am thankful for the one member who answered 25% of our total calls. I am also thankful for the 4 members who answered 5 through 8% of our total calls. And I am also thankful for the 15 members who answered less than 3.7% of our total calls. However, I am also stating facts that our busy volunteer members that work multiple jobs and have other interests in life cannot provide response to the 2,191 calls for service. This is why we have career staffing. The volunteer fire department element goes deeper than the operational response. I've reported in previous annual reports, and I will again tonight, the contributions that the Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated have provided in the means of purchases directly contributes to the operational capabilities of our fire department. The cost sharing of the ambulance power load system, the matching funds in the SCBA grant, saving taxpayers over $250,000. The purchase of our newest ambulance, Ambulance 13, was made by the volunteers. And the matching funds for a hose grant this year, saving taxpayers $75,000. I thank the Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated and President Leone for their partnership towards our overall goal of the safest community possible. I think it's important that this audience hear that our fire department is the second busiest in the entire county. The city of Jamestown responded to 7,700 calls for service during the year 2024. They did this with a staff of 52, not including their code enforcement personnel or their paid chief. The city of Dunkirk responded to 2,190 calls with a staff of 24 plus a paid chief. Yet, as mentioned previously, we answered 2,191 calls for service with a staff of 12 plus a paid chief. It's untenable. My staff is tired. We are one long-term injury or a retirement away from a major capability gap. Excuse me. I will not bore the audience with the regulations and the laws that govern fire departments. However, I do want to educate our newer board members and our community that OSHA fire standards drive things like 2 in, 2 out rules. Meaning we must have 2 firefighters on the outside if we're going to send 2 firefighters on the inside to do their job. It's important that the entire board knows the risks associated with our current operations. In the year 2024, we specifically answered 1,539 emergency medical service calls. Our fire department provides advanced emergency medical service, where we have been since the early 1990s. What does this mean for our community and visitors? In 2024, our average response time for a first call, where there was a minimum of 2 highly trained responders at the sides of the community members, a visitor, or a SUNY student that needed our help, was less than 5 minutes. The ability for these providers to administer advanced life support measures is unmeasurably beneficial. I am proud at our ability to provide this service, as it directly contributes towards a safer community. As a father who lives in this community, I am thankful that it is here for me and my family. New York State law is clear regarding EMS cost recovery, also known as EMS billing. Monies received from the billing must be used to offset the cost of providing ambulance service to the authority having jurisdiction, ultimately accomplishing the offset of tax dollars of such services. Under my administration, we've seen EMS cost recovery go from the low $300,000 in the year 2021 to the mid $500,000 we see in the current billing year. This has been accomplished through our new partnership with a different EMS billing company, a comprehensive study of our billable rates, and our internal procedures. In closing, I am humbled to be the chief of a department in this community that provides the services I've mentioned tonight. I am thankful for the members of the fire department and our mutual aid partners. I am thankful for the support that we've received from the village board and the mayor. I am thankful for the interagency partnerships both in our village and Chautauqua County. Without any of this, we would not be successful. I am sensitive to the budgetary concerns and conversations that have occurred in recent meetings. I stand before this board with one goal: to provide the best fire and EMS protection that we can. The fire department will continue to offset tax dollars by the impressive revenue we generate. However, we cannot let that distract us from our main goal, and what that is: to provide the safest community possible. Every single year, our call volume increases. We are seeing our community increase as the codes office reports every single month. Our members at current staffing are running the same amount of calls that double the members in Dunkirk are. I'm looking forward to the year 2025 and wish everyone a safe night.
Thank you. Recreation Department?
Police department?
This department's coming up. I do want to, if you can talk to me about Chautauqua Opportunities. There's a program that may benefit recreation. We can talk about as far as employment for next summer. But I'll fill you in on that later. Police Department.
I had nothing to see.
Would you mind coming up here one more time, please? After the newspaper article last week, Senator George Borrello has sent you, as well as the other 5 gentlemen who received this certificate of recognition for your 29 years of service to the Village of Fredonia, signed on January 14th, Senator George Borrello, New York State Senate, 57th Senate District. Congratulations once again. We'll make sure that the other gentlemen that received theirs from the village and the state will get those from Senator Borrell as well, and we thank him for his support.
Thank you.
That's what I'll hold on for 1 second. Wastewater treatment plant.
Our DEC data study is completed and turned in. All our samples for wet testing is completed and turned into the lab. We are continuing to work on cleaning out our clear well, and the plant tour that there's for tonight is to look at the town of Tonawonda's, their preventative maintenance program, and see if there's something that we can pick up from them to add to our preventative maintenance program. And that's the main reason for us to go up there.
Super. Anything else?
Nope, that's complete.
Thank you very much. Water treatment plant.
We got nothing.
That's good news. No boil waters, no broken. Anyway. New business, amended committee assignments.
I think trustee Syracuse requested that, not knowing that she wasn't gonna be here, so I got nothing on that.
February 3rd, meeting in NICOM.
Trustee Syracuse and I are attending.
I'm also attending.
Any other new business?
Yeah, so one thing we're gonna need to talk about is 3 of us are gonna be gone, we're gonna have to reschedule.
We have to reschedule
We have
that
to
meeting,
reschedule that
February
meeting.
3rd meeting.
Yeah.
Have a quorum.
We were taking a look at the solar law, and I spoke with an attorney on the environmental side at NICOM, and we talked about host community agreements, that most communities that have tier 2 solar farms have their solar companies sign, and it's not unusual to do it. The town of Pomfret has done it. Village or the town of Ripley have done it. I've got a couple of other examples of different host community agreements, and it's from what I've been able to gather, the solar company pays the host community based on production. But that's separate from the solar law, so it would have to be something that either us as the board or the planning board would have to negotiate with the solar company. But it's standard practice in that in the solar community. I'll make a copy of the Pomfret one for everybody and put in your boxes so you can see what we're looking at. But I think it's something that we would be foolish not to incorporate with every solar company that wants to do business in the village. We also, Mike and I spoke with Dan Pecos yesterday, and they went through the IDA to come up with their formula for how they were charging the solar company. That's something that we should also look at to see what their formulas are.
Do we have a date that you want to change or reschedule the meeting to?
Maybe on the 5th, Wednesday the 5th? How does that sound to everybody?
How about if we get back to you after the meeting, everybody look at the calendar?
You want to take a look at your
Yeah,
calendar first?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to say
Thank you.
something and not be able to.
No,
stick
that's
to it,
true.
so,
Yeah.
Right.
Old business, dog catcher.
So did we get any interest?
I believe Dan has some, yes.
Okay, we did get responses. Good.
Okay, excellent.
Nice.
Parking rate.
I had passed out to all the trustees our current from 2009, not just parking, but all the other fees attached in there, and I would ask that we all take a look at that and see how we want to adjust them. And then we would have to call a public hearing to do that. So let's see if we can kind of confirm what we want to change that to. So at our next meeting, we can call for a public hearing and incorporate the new fees.
I like that.
Okay? Thank you.
Any other old business?
Mayor, I have something. The management team of Go Bike, which is a company out of Buffalo that did a project in the Village of Fredonia last summer, and they sent a final report for the people that were representing the village. Trustee Syracuse and myself were on that committee, and I'd like to share that next meeting. I just got the report today, so what I'll do is I'll just highlight the summary. It's a 146-page report, but it includes Dunkirk and Fredonia. The idea was, they call it Central Connection. So I'll inform the board at a later date.
I did receive that report, by the way.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I just got it
I
today.
saw that too.
Yeah. They sent it to everybody.
Yeah.
I got through page 2.
Yeah.
There was a lot of reading.
Just touch on the highlights.
Okay.
Well, you have 40 minutes now to catch up with the other 44
I'll read
pages.
that fast.
Any reason for executive session at this workshop? If not, I know we have an executive session at the end of the official meeting. With that, in motion, dismiss this meeting.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Brockler?
Aye.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back at 7 o'clock with the start of the regular meeting. Thank you. Department heads, thank you very much. Tonight's meeting of the Board of Trustees on Village Hall in Fredonia, New York at 911 Church Street on this date, January 21st, 2025. It's our regular meeting of the board beginning at 7 p.m. I'm the Mayor, Mike Ferguson, and we call this meeting to order. I'll Trustee Esperson.
Here.
Trustee Brockler.
Here.
Trustee Twitchell.
Here.
Trustee Wendell.
Here.
Trustee Syracuse is absent tonight. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good approval of the minutes, please.
Whereas members of this board have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees regular meeting of January 6, 2025, now therefore be it resolved that the board hereby approves the minutes as entered into the official minutes, and be it further resolved that the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Second.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Thank you. Public portion. This portion of the meeting is for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak, once recognized, shall stand at the microphone and state their name and address. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes of speaking for themselves or 5 minutes of speaking on behalf of the group. I will ask the speakers to refrain from remarks that are in poor taste, slanderous, or not germane to any action taken or contemplated by the board. We have one speaker tonight, James Linden of Fredonia.
Good evening. First thing I'd like to, concerning the village budget, I'd like to remind the mayor that the tax levy is not about how much population we have in the village. It's not whether we've lost 2,000 people in the last 10 years or gained 2,000 people. It's about the taxation of the properties. There's always someone who owns every property in the village. With that being said, if someone doesn't pay their tax bill, then the village asks the county to make us whole, and they do every year. It's a very unique aspect of a village in Chautauqua County. Cities don't get that option. Towns don't get that option. They have to fend for themselves to try to collect those funds. So when you're considering your tax levy, you always know what you're getting. And it's what you do with it is what matters. Okay, now, that aside, the water that we were talking about and the push to buy water from Lake Erie. There's a major issue with Lake Erie water compared to the village reservoir. And that's combined sewer overflow. There's tens of billions of gallons of combined sewage overflow from municipal sewage treatment plants that enters Lake Erie every year. Cleveland, in a recent study, 4.5 billion gallons annually. Entering from the Detroit River, 2020, 28.2 billion gallons of combined sewage overflow. There's also 3.5 billion gallons of completely untreated sewage. All the way down to the other end of the lake, you've got Buffalo's, tens of billions of gallons of combined sewage overflow. The city of Dunkirk itself, twice in December of this last year, had a total of 5.22 million gallons of sewage, combined sewage overflow. In 2023, they had 10.44 million gallons of combined sewage overflow. In 2022, 24 million gallons of combined sewage overflow. And they always have to have a point of impact of how it affects the area. And the most recent one, Dunkirk, actually identified not only the harbor, but also identified the water intake. I can't go into detail with my short amount of time on how much pollution there is in the combined sewer overflows, or that raw sewage that enters Lake Erie. And when it gets mixed up, it comes from west to east, and then when there's a seiche, it gets stirred up all around. It's a very shallow lake. There's also the toxic blue-green algae blooms that are increasing every year by the data that has been provided from the western end. That gets mixed up, it comes this direction. The microplastics. The Great Lakes get, it is a recent study, 22 billion pounds, 22 billion pounds of microplastics. Lake Erie itself is the second highest, has the second highest count. You're charged with the health and safety of our community. We don't have this stuff in our reservoir. Why would you, as a board, put us at risk? There's many, many studies coming out now that will say what the health risks are. And it is devastating what this stuff can do to you. We shouldn't have to. I know there's millions of people that have to drink because that's the only source they have. We have other options. Let's take those other options. Now, I was recently watched the Audit and Control Committee from the county legislature. They've decided that they're going to push to fund your study for combining with Dunkirk and the North County Water District. You got to wonder why that is. It'll go before the legislature for a vote next month. So you wonder why that is. Well, yeah, I know when I was a trustee, we asked for the county legislature to provide funding for a study for the dam spillway. They refused it. They didn't get any benefit from it. Well, the county and Dunkirk are in financial disasters. So now they're going to push for it. They even tried to say that a recent water main break was somehow linked to a reasoning to one more reasoning to go with the North County Water District. They want us desperately, is what I see. They can't meet their budgets, and they're looking for Fredonia to bail them out with all our sales. They want to steal our water sales. That's the county and the city. They're both in those places. They called Fredonia's water as problematic. Well, our supervisor today said there was nothing. Last two meetings, he had no issues. The last two board meetings, our plant was apparently working fine. I'm sure there's still things we need to do. But, I mean, there's plenty of stuff going into Lake Erie that we don't have to deal with. So, county wants to...
3 minutes, Jim.
Okay. Well, I could wrap that up there, but I'm sure I'll be back. Thank you.
That closes out, unless someone else is here to speak. Closes out tonight's portion of the public portion. Correspondence dated January 7th, 2025, received by Rick Davis, Executive Director of the Opera House. So, dear Mayor Ferguson, Village Trustees, I'm writing to request the use of both East and West Parker Commons and gazebo on Sunday, April 27th, 2025, from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. for the annual 5K run walk to benefit the 1891 Fredonia Opera House Performing Arts Center. The run will begin at 9 a.m. on Lambert Street, adjacent to the Village Hall parking lot. Will end in front of Village Hall. Therefore, we would also like to request the closure of Church Street between Day and Temple Streets from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Day Street will be blocked for the start of the race for no more than 10 minutes. This is our 8th year presenting the race. The route will be the same. A diagram is enclosed, which it is right here. We worked with Chief Price each of the past 2 years to request police assistance and ensure that all necessary safety precautions and guidelines are followed. We will do that again. I've also attached a copy of our insurance rider, which I have here, naming the village as additional insured. Please let me know at your earliest convenience the village can grant this request, or if you need additional information, thank you for your consideration on this matter.
Be it resolved that the request from Rick Davis, Executive Director of the 1891 Opera House, Inc., to use East and West Barker Common, the gazebo, and close Church Street between Day and Temple from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m. Sunday, April 27th, 2025. Day Street will be blocked for the start of the race for no more than 10 minutes. Is hereby approved with the stipulation that the group will be responsible for cleanup and is subject to the direction of the police department and the village receiving a certificate of insurance in the amount of $1 million naming the village as an additional insured, which has been received.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Trustee Brockman?
Aye.
So moved. Correspondence dated January 7th, 2025 was received by Rick Davis, Executive Director of the 1891 Opera House Incorporated, requesting the use of West Barker Common and gazebo on Saturday, June 7th, 2025 from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the annual Opera House Summer Fundraiser. Dear Mayor Ferguson, I'm writing to request the use of the West Barker Common and gazebo for the annual Open House Opera House Summer Fundraiser on Saturday, June 7th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Unlike in previous years, this year's event will not include a barbecue. Instead, it will feature a bake sale and basket auction along with musical entertainment. Proceeds of the event will go to support the Opera House programming and operations. I've attached a copy of our insurance rider, which I have here, naming the village as additional insured. Please let me know your earliest convenience if the village can grant this request or if you need additional information. Thank you for your consideration on this matter. Sincerely, Rick A. Davis, APR, Executive Director.
Be it resolved that the request from Rick Davis, Executive Director of the 1891 Fredonia Opera House, Inc., to use West Barker Common, the gazebo, for the annual Opera House Summer Fundraiser on June 7th, 2025 is hereby approved, with the stipulation that the group will be responsible for cleanup and is subject to the direction of the police department and the village receiving a certificate of insurance in the amount of $1 million, naming the village as additional insured, which has been received.
Second.
Trustee Esperson?
Aye.
Trustee Wendell?
Aye.
Trustee Brockler?
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell?
Aye.
Correspondence dated December 13, 2024 was received from Festivals Fredonia requesting the use of dates and various village properties for the 2025 festival season. Honorable Mayor Michael Ferguson, Board of Trustees, permission for use of the dates and village properties during 2025 Festivals Fredonia Incorporated events. We are writing to request permission for the exclusive use of Barker Commons West and East during the use of, including use of the gazebo, various parking space privileges and activities that will involve the use of village streets such as a horse-drawn trolley tours or the like on festival dates. Festivals Fredonia Incorporated has 5 core festivals or events that come under its umbrella for which we assume responsibility. We would like to reserve the dates in the event the festival does not occur. The dates are as follows. Fredonia Easter Festival, April 21st. Fredonia Italian Festival, June 21st, co-hosted by the Fredonia Beaver Club. Red, White, and Blues Festival, September 5th through 6th. Harvest Moon Cemetery Tours, October 17th and 18th. Miracle on Main Street, December 6th. We've attempted to avoid conflicts with any other event or significant gathering occurring in the village. To our knowledge, we have coordinated dates with the Department of Recreation, Fredonia Community Chamber of Commerce, Fredonia Farmers Market, and with 1891 Fredonia Opera House. In most instances, these entities are partners in the proposed festivals. Each festival has its own needs and requirements, but all will be covered on the Festival Fredonia Incorporated insurance rider, naming the village as an additional insured. Each festival will file an updated request approximately 6 to 8 weeks before the festival date, and a copy of the required insurance form listing the village as an additional insured for the above festivals will be kept updated at the village clerk's office. This effectively means the festivals will be conducted in the same manner as they had for the past 30+ years, providing promotion for the village, education and entertainment to local residents, offering a venue for local artists and musicians to showcase their talents, hosting thousands of visitors, increasing tourism dollars to downtown businesses. If you have any questions and would like more detailed information, we'd be happy to provide whatever you need to make the process and decision easier. As always, we thank you for your anticipated time and consideration in continuing to make the Village of Fredonia a wonderful place to visit and live. Sincerely, Festivals Fredonia Executive Committee, Larry Fiorella, Chair, Michelle Joy, Vice Chair, Laura Profit, Co-Chair, Heidi Powell, Co-Chair, and Dr. Judith Horowitz, Secretary.
Be it resolved that permission is hereby granted to the Festivals Fredonia Committee for the exclusive use of Barker Commons east and west, including a use of the gazebo, various parking space privileges, and village streets for the following festivals or events for which they assume responsibility: Fredonia Easter Festival, April 12th, Fredonia Italian Festival, June 21st, co-hosted by the Fredonia Beaver Club, Red, White, and Blues, September 5th and 6th, Harvest Moon Cemetery Tours, October 17th and 18th, and Miracle on Main Street, December 6th.
I'll second that.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Wandell.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
We also have here legal notice of public hearing for the Office of Community Renewal Grant Program, which included the White Inn, but we were going to have to change that date because we were changing the meeting date because most of the trustees will be going to Nikon that same date.
We're not going to set that now?
No, we don't know what's going to be good for everybody, so.
Fair enough.
I'll make a
Okay.
motion to table it.
I'd like to table that resolution, Mayor.
There we go.
Okay, do we have a second to table?
Second.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Thank you. Department of Health and everything coming afterwards, correct? What was that?
Your mayor's report is
Right,
next.
it's coming next, okay. Mayor's report for 21st of January 2025. On January 8th, we attended by a Zoom meeting, the joint meeting of the Dunkirk and Fredonia Chamber of Commerce. They informed us of some new grant opportunities that are coming about, and I attended by Zoom due to additional commitments that day. January 10th, attended a meeting to discuss the options for the current water treatment plant's chlorination system and the regulations and improvements needed to sustain the plant. On the 15th, we attended a special meeting of the board. On January 16th, I held my first department head meeting for the 2025 year in my chambers. Also on the 15th, we met with our new county legislator, Tom Carl, to discuss contribution needs from the village, and attended the North County Water District meeting later that evening. On January 20th, yesterday, I attended, spoke, and gave a proclamation in support of Dr. Martin Luther King Day at the annual luncheon held at the Clarion Hotel in Dunkirk. We had the ability to share the table with Governor Hochul's new representative, Frank Puglisi, along with Dunkirk Mayor Kate Dobiaz, Ellen Kodiak, and the Krauses as well. Also this week, notification to intent to begin discussions with area law enforcement and college officials to discuss Not Fred Fest and the village. Introducing new additional subcommittees including but not limited to downtown core business development, event sponsorship opportunities, generate money to cover events like the summer music series, the New Year's Eve ball drop, and more. Potential shared services implementation, the downtown alleyway art and leisure projects. We've also had a chance to meet with Mr. Alberto Ray to discuss possible locations of fishing zones along the Canada Way Creek. He is well known around the world for his fishing expertise, and it was suggested to me by Dave McCoy and Mr. Joy to meet with him when we had the chance to do so. We also talked about the possible catch and release and artificial bait options for visiting and resident sports people. We talk about downtown wayfinding signage, new signage. While we all know where to park and where the free parking is, many of our visitors do not. I'm also investigating parking apps that could replace the current coin-operated parking meters. They are using these in other communities, including the city of Buffalo, that would not require additional kiosks or nothing more than software on one of our computers to be able to track the parking charges, and would also allow on the spot the ability for someone to be able to issue tickets for expired parking or illegal parking. And that's my report as of today. I had more, but I'm going to submit it to the newspaper for review. Trustee committee reports. Trustee Brockman.
I'm going to say no report.
Trustee Esperson.
Yeah, a couple things. I attended a meeting with LaBelle in the Department of Health regarding the chlorination system and possible short-term fixes. The short-term fixes, unfortunately, were not free. They were fairly expensive. So the decision was made to wait till there are other grant opportunities and then talk about which fix, if any, we would pursue. I went to the North County Water District meeting as well. I had a meeting with Scott and Lewis to get some information about the letters that have been sent to residents regarding the lead testing information. If you received a letter, it's because the village doesn't know if you have lead pipes or not, or we know that you do have lead pipes. If you got a letter and you want your water tested, you should call DPW and get put on their list. As they're going through the list, they will be dropping off a container and ask you to fill that with water first thing in the morning. It will be sent to a lab to be tested. There's no fee charged by the village, but the lab test will cost between $45 and $50, and you will be billed for that. But it will tell you if you have lead in your water. And I think if I thought I had lead in my water, I would probably want to spend $45 or $50 to find out if indeed I did, and that any changes need to be made. That's all I have.
Trustee Twitchell.
Yes, I attended the Barker Library Museum, and I'm happy to announce that they will be having a reception for Jamie Hogarth's photography Thursday, January 23rd from 5 to 7 p.m. He has landscape photos of the extraordinary places in Western New York, and I encourage everyone to stop by to take a look at those photos. And there's also a free art vending machine set up at the library. Stop by to get your own piece of art by local artists, including students and professionals alike. It's right in the lobby as soon as you walk in. And the Barker Museum has a sports exhibit entitled "We Are the Champions," and it's a celebration of athletics in Fredonia. The display shows the rich history of sports in our community, featuring memorabilia, photographs, and stories from local athletes. And I encourage everyone to go and visit the museum. And that's all I have to report tonight.
Thank you. Trustee Wendell.
Last week, on the DPW committee, I had a visit with our wastewater treatment plant supervisor, Mr. David Felt. We discussed a number of topics, including one current issue, and they are, I actually have 7 points here. The Platte Clearwell tank has excessive sludge and muck for approximately the bottom 2 feet of a 6-foot deep well. The suspicion is that this is a resultant from the December overflow event where there was extremely high water runoff due to thawing, snow thawing, and high rain activity. Unfortunately, access is very limited. A manhole and ladder does exist, and the goal is to clear out this excessive muck, but the challenge is how to do it. David is currently looking into a sump pumping technique. He's considering a diver to clear it out. I know that he's also speaking with our water treatment plant supervisor regarding that, and also looking at the possibility of using a bore scope to improve the visual and better understand the total impacted area. Currently, he's looking at another solution to experimentally figure out how to remove the sludge from a very difficult area to get access to. Doing some recent maintenance work that has been done on the headworks equipment. That includes the backup diesel generator. They have 2 generators at the plant, one at the head end and one at the other side. This is at the head end of the plant, and they had recently installed a block heater and a battery system upgrade on the diesel generator, and the good news is now everything operates reliably. Also reported in previous workshop reports, the headworks grid pumps are old and nearing end of life. I was just informed today that he suspects that they're original to the plant, which was built in 1978. So do the math. David is currently running, securing quotes for replacement and looking at vendors who can do the work for him. The operation of the grid pumps is critical to the plant operation. Supervisor would like to reestablish engineering work with Labella for grant funding preparation work. Third last is the ferric tank system will be inspected on March 4th. Those inspections run every 5 years. Discussion was had recycling of the plant waste matter. Currently the waste is trucked to a landfill 3 times a week, I think approximately every other day. Trustee Esperson had asked me to investigate alternate solutions to process and recycle the plant's biosolids. I discussed this idea with the supervisor, and we are currently studying if it's feasible and if it would offer any revenue income. Lastly, otherwise the overall plant status and operation is good. Secondly, on January 17th, I visited our DPW Streets Department and met with Scott Marsh, and some of the discussion points, we had 5 of them. Number 1, currently the village owns 2 plow trucks which are operational. However, they get worked very hard, especially while plowing. Scott would like to add a 3rd truck to the fleet. Financing for the truck was also discussed. Some paving projects for 2025 were discussed. This includes Chestnut Street, which is 1.44 miles in length and has not been paved in over 20 years. When funding becomes available, the existing 4-inch water supply line below grade needs replacement. Therefore, plowing would be a top grade milling operation. Third, the water, wastewater, and stormwater distributions were discussed. This includes areas where 12-inch water mains need replacement, as they are often the point of water main breaks. Also included in our discussion was storm sewer replacement on the following streets: Birchwood, Chestnut, and Tupple. Fourth, a new general labor will be starting Monday, yesterday, at the Streets Department. And lastly, of the 6 pickup trucks in the fleet, 4 will soon require maintenance. And then finally, I will be studying the scope of an automated preliminary chlorine injection system, as Trustee Esperson has just noted. This is not required by the County Department of Health, but is recommended, highly recommended, at a recent meeting with the Chautauqua County Department of Health and Labella Engineering. The objective is to create a very accurate and consistent level of purification based on our water usage. So I'll be meeting with our water superintendent later this week, and that's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Yes, I have the December 2024 information. December's general fund revenue was $124,827 for a total of, for the year, $5,206,969. For the year, $1,131,060. Expenses, $140,031. For the year, $1,004,733. For a net income for December of $81,063. And for the year, $126,327. For the sewer fund, the December revenue was $124,883. For the year, $1,014,953. Expenses, $126,003. For the year, $1,124,157. For net income for December of negative $1,120, and for the year, negative $109,203. That's it for my portion. I can read the additional reports though, if you'd like.
Certainly. Thank you.
Code enforcement month-end report, December 2024. Building permits issued 16, inspections 29, certificate of occupancy 9, certificate of compliance 5, violations found 1. 0 violations satisfied. Fees collected, permit fees $2,024.36, rental fees $1,230, certificate of compliances $100, electrical license fees $5,800, for a total of $9,154.36. There were 6 inspections and 6 rental inspections and 6 rental renewals. 1 property maintenance found, 2 annual fire inspections, 16 permits generated $2,024.36 in revenue. The estimated cost of work for the month of December was $767,891. Fredonia Police Department report for the month of December. Total incidents reported 783. Fredonia Central Schools call for service 0. Accidents 21. Arrests reported 23. Vehicle and traffic incidents 52. Domestic incidents 13. And 120 parking tickets. The December 2024 Fredonia Justice Court report. There are 41 vehicle and traffic, 7 criminal cases, 3 village ordinances, 1 civil case, 2 ABC laws, total fines and surcharges $2,613, parking ticket fines $2,265, for a total of $4,878.
Thank you. Resolutions.
With the first resolution has already been tabled.
Be it resolved that the duties of the Village of Fredonia Registrar are hereby assigned or renewed to the village clerk, Anne Marie Johnston of 12 Carroll Ave, Fredonia, effective immediately at a rate of pay commensurate with the current state of New York registrar reimbursement rate.
Second.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Syracuse. I'm sorry. Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Old habits die hard. Go ahead.
Be resolved that Jason Jacobowitz, Center Road, Castaga, New York, is hereby promoted to the position of motor equipment operator at the Department of Public Works at hourly rate of $29.23 per hour, effective January 27th, 2025, subject to civil service rules and regulations, and a probationary period of 6 months.
Second.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Be resolved that Jacob Polito, Howard Street, Fredonia, New York, is hereby hired as a full-time laborer to work the Department of Public Works at an hourly rate of $18.19 per hour, effective January 27th, 2025, subject to civil service rules and regulations.
Second.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Be resolved that the request from Alyssa LeBeau, treasurer, to attend the ARC conference in Ithaca, New York, February 6, 2025, at a cost of $60 is hereby approved.
Trustee Twitchell and Twitchell.
Oh, wait, second.
I second.
Second. Okay. Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the request from wastewater treatment plant supervisor David Felt and Tony Mistretta to tour the town of Tonawanda wastewater treatment plant on Feb 6, 2025 at no cost to the village is hereby approved.
Second.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Whereas the Village of Fredonia desires to issue a request for proposals, RFP, to solicit proposals for legal counsel, whereas pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 103, the village intends to seek proposals prior to entering any public work contract. Now therefore be it resolved, the village hereby authorizes the village treasurer and her designee to draft and issue an RFP for additional legal counsel.
Second.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Whereas the Village of Fredonia wishes to stay proactive regarding the current EMS billing practice, whereas the following service level rates have been suggested by our billing company, Professional Ambulance Billing. BLS, Basic Life Support Transport, increased from $1,000 to $1,200. ALS, Advanced Life Support Transport, increased from $1,250 to $1,450. ALS2, Advanced Life Support Transport, increased from $1,500 to $1,700. PI, Paramedic Intercept, increased from $785 to $900. TR, Treat and Release, remain at $400. MLS, Loaded Mileage, from $38 to $40. Now therefore be it resolved that the suggested service level rates mentioned above are hereby approved by the Fredonia Village Board of Trustees and will take effect immediately.
Second.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Be resolved that the village pay $200 for its annual basic membership to Southern Tier West CAP, 4309 Route 219, Salamanca, New York.
Second.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion that we enter an executive session to discuss contracts and personal matters within the Department of Public Works.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
And motion to end tonight's meeting so we can go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, second.
Second.
Trustee Esperson.
Aye.
Trustee Brockler.
Aye.
Twitchell.
Aye.
Trustee Wendell.
Aye. Ladies
Ladies and gentlemen, the next meeting of the Village of Fredonia Board of Trustees Workshop and Board Meeting will take place on Monday, February 18th in the Trustee Room, second floor, Village Hall, Board Meeting to follow. That date cannot be right.
No, I was gonna say,
To be announced.
to be announced,
To be
right.
It's like Ron Burgundy, whatever you put in front of me, I read. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We're going to sign off. Stay warm, stay healthy, and we will enter into an executive session. Thank you very much to discuss a personnel matter.